Guys, the economy sucks. Times are tight, money's tight, but that doesn't mean that you can't get a quality knife. We're going to look at 5 great knives that aren't going to break the bank. They're going to be something that you can carry, you can use, and they're still going to be a quality knife under $100. So let's turn this around and take a look at 5 of the best budget knives you're going to find. All right, guys, frustration level. Forgot to turn my microphone on, so there was no audio for the first time I filmed this. So this is completely self-serving. This is my Artisan Sea Snake design. Now, these are under $60, depending on where you're looking. I think they're running around 40 most places. I will put a link down below so you can pick it up. I designed this to be a really good all-around carry knife. Now, they don't come in this configuration. They do come with a chain or a cord to be used as a neck knife. I've put soft loops on mine, but we definitely went with a design where you could have options to carry. But it is a small little Wharncliffe fixed blade. To put it in perspective, this is a folding knife. It is smaller than a lot of my folding knives. You'll see this one in a minute. Now, that is a 9-inch folding knife, but yeah, not a real big knife. Easy to carry, easy to use. These things are the kind of knife that, yes, they're great to have, and a lot of people use them and carry them, but if something happens to it, they are easy to replace. Nice thin profile on this, comes down nice and slim. The steel on this is AR RPM 9 that Artisan uses. It is a really, really good all-around steel. It has some really good edge retention, not super good edge retention, but it's got really good edge retention for a budget steel. Really rust resistant. The thing is, it strops up really nice and it takes a very good edge. And in this configuration, it's just a great knife for a lot of purposes. The fact it is a fixed blade means it's easy to use if you're wearing gloves. That's why I kind of went with this design, because I was working construction at the time. You can pull that out, use it, put it back. It's a great little addition to an outdoor knife if you want to add it. But if you just need a small everyday carry knife and you want a small fixed blade, these are great. You can get them on Amazon, through my Amazon store, or through the link I'm going to provide down below. Nice big finger choil on that up forward. You can get on it. Good jimping. Even though it's a smaller knife, it still has adequate grip on it. It's not a real big grip on it, so it's not really hard to carry in that scout carry configuration. It does have removable handles if you want to clean under it if you're in a wet environment, and the sheath does have a weep hole on it, which, by the way, one of the only knives you're going to get where the sheath is color coordinated with the handle. If you get the green one, you get a green sheath. You get the black one, you get a black sheath. I'm proud of this design. I really love it, and I forget to tell you guys about it a lot of times. So there you go. Let's move on to the next knife. All right, this is the Cold Steel Mini Tuff Lite. Now, these are an incredible little knife coming in at $25. Now, they're not a super high-end knife, but they get the job done. It's a nice little Wharncliffe. Even though it's a very, very small knife, pretty much a keychain knife on this one. You can get a full 4-finger grip on this in that Ford choil. It has got this box cutter style blade that comes incredibly sharp. I have sharpened mine, but I use a lot. This was a gift from my buddy 2A Dave, by the way. Thanks a bunch, Dave. I really appreciate it. Composite handles on this that are really, really strong, and it is a triad lock. I think this is the smallest knife you can get a triad lock on. And if you know anything about the triad lock, strongest knife on the lock, strongest lock on the knife market. It is an ambidextrous carry. Now, this is not an ambidextrous pocket clip on this, I do have to admit, but there is a larger version of this, which I think comes in around the $45 to $50 mark, that really is a little bit bigger and has the ambidextrous carry. But this thing's great. I use this a lot for opening boxes and things like that. This is a nice, super, super light little knife if you want to carry it in a pair of like sweatpants or something like that. So you still have a nice little knife, and it's still really strong and robust. And like I said, up on it, you still have a really good grip. Lots of things you can do with this because of the closeness to that work surface. You've got really good control. You can get up on it and do things up at the tip. And it is one of the most comfortable little mini knives I've ever had, because the handle on it is got these huge choils on it for you to get up in. Just a great, great knife. The way this one is done kind of unique. The spring is not a your typical tension spring like you would see in a triad lock. where you would see have the leaf in there. It is a compression spring, which is kind of unique if you're into that. But Pocket clip is made to match up with those holes, so there is no discomfort. Just a great little small knife, especially if you're in an office environment and you need something to open things up with, but you don't want something that might be a knife that your coworkers might flip out about. So there you go, Cold Steel Mini Tuff Lite. Now this next one isn't a specific knife in particular, as you can see. This is a company, this is the Rosecraft Blades slip joints. Now these things are under $50 each, and they're an incredible, incredible showing in a slip joint. So if you want a small knife, if you're looking for a gift for somebody that is into knives, these things are incredibly good. This is my favorite one by far. This is their Sweetwater Creek Senator. That is an actual stag handle on us. This is $50. I think this one is $45. This is their bone, their gray bone Barlow in a sheep's foot. Now these are done in D2 and the handle materials on them are great. Now these are some of the best modern slip joints you're going to find. These things are great. This is just what I would expect from a good slip joint. They're done incredibly well. The look of them has got that classic bespoke feel with the way that they're marked and everything like that. But when it comes down to it, the D2 has been heat treated really well. Their blades are all ground really well. This gets used a lot and gets in my pocket a lot. Sits really nice in a watch pocket. And it's one of those knives that if you were to pick one of these up and give it as a gift, it's got a really good gift feel to it. This looks really, really good with the natural stag handles on it. This one is in a different blade configuration. This is a lamb's foot as opposed to a sheep's foot. A little bit skinnier blade. I love this one because it's got that skinnier blade and you can do a little bit more with it. It just feels like you have a little bit more blade. You've got a little bit more piercing tip. And it's got this curvature to it and thickness to it that just fits my hands better. But there are none of their knives that I would say are not worth the money. As a matter of fact, I am surprised they don't charge more for them. The way that they've done these is incredibly smooth, and you're really seeing some quality machining and manufacturing being done and attention to detail. And you can tell they really, really care about how these knives are presented, how they present themselves, and how they represent the company. Just really, really nice, elegant, gentleman's slip joint folding knife. So let's move on to the next one, which I'm sure you're going to recognize the second I pull it out. And it's the good old-fashioned Victorinox Swiss Army knives. These things have been a staple of, you know, Boy Scout packs and things like that for years and years and years and years. This is the Officer Suisse model. You get a lot of things with it. This is basically my favorite multi-tool. This is something that goes in my pocket a lot. There are about 8 of these knives around the house between me and my daughter. My daughter has a couple. I get a couple of the little keychain ones that have like a knife and a pair of scissors. But all the things you would want in a little easy to carry package. You've got the big blade, you've got the small blade, which comes in handy. You got your Phillips head screwdriver, you got a wood awl, you've got a hook. I've never really found a need for the hook, but people have told me that it does come in handy for pulling on things and tensioning things. My buddy that goes camping a lot says he uses it. He puts a loop in and he pulls the tent stake strings tight. All kinds of stuff on this, but you also have a flathead screwdriver. And I got to tell you, one of the best small pair of scissors you will ever have. Like, I honestly want to get a small pair of these scissors just to have around. Come in really handy if you're fishing. You can clip line with it, but they are really, really good. These are some of the best quality products you're gonna find at a really good price. Another one that's good for gifting and things like that. Absolutely love these. I can't think of a time that I haven't had a Swiss Army knife from the time I was a child. I got my first one. My dad got it for me. It was not a Victorinox. It was a Wenger. At one point, there was 2 different companies. But these things have really, really came a long way through the history of knives and have just, they've never really changed. They've stayed the same. They're still a great, great option. I love mine. And the nice thing is they're not too expensive to replace if you happen to lose it or break it. They are a very good knife. They stay sharp. They hold their edge pretty well, and they're easy to sharpen. Really good first knife for a young individual, be it a boy or a girl that's into the outdoors, and it gives you a lot. They come in a lot of different configurations that some of them are more expensive, but I think this is just about, this one and the Tinker, I think are just about the perfect configurations of them. So let's go ahead and move on to what I think is the best bang for your buck budget knife. Now, those other knives, they haven't all been, you know, what you think of when you think of like the flipper knives or what you usually see on the channel. This is the Miguron Vona. These things are, I think, $49 or $50 right now. They're in 14C28N. Mine's a little bit older. It's a different steel, but you just cannot go wrong with this knife. 9 inches overall. Nice liner lock on this. The action on it is super smooth. The blade is not only just done attractively, but it's done functionally. It is a longer knife that does not feel as big as this. Is a knife that just the way the ergos were done on this does not suffer from that being too far removed from the pivot. Beautifully done blade on this. Attractive look on this with this fuller down there. The action on these, well above what I would expect on a $50 knife, $50 price range knife, depending on where you find them. Like, I'm going to put links to most of these knives down below. Super good action, and then comfortable in hand. This one is done in DC53 steel, which is an incredible steel. I wish they still did it in it, but they don't. Now they do them at 14C28N, which is a very comparable feeling steel when it comes to the edge and things like that. Just overall great. You've got this textured G10 that is not slippy, but it's also not super aggressive, so you don't have to worry about it digging up and tearing up your pants. The lock access on it is just about perfect. This is, I think, still the GOAT when it comes to budget folding knives. You're not going to find anything better. You're not going to find anything. I mean, you might find something that fits your needs better, but in my opinion, this is the best budget folding knife I've ever come across. Absolutely love it. Like I said, links to all of these down below. I just thought this would be fun to do. So guys, that's it on this one. Let's turn it around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. Hopefully it's not raining in your part of the world. So there you go, guys. That was 5. And there's one that I didn't mention. I was going to add it, but not everybody likes these. They're super cheap. These are the Opnel knives. You can't go wrong with these. They're amazing. If you lose it, you break it. They are extremely affordable. So there you go, guys. That's it on this one. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. Those things all help the channel. If you want to support the channel financially, Sharp Crazy. That's my Cash App. You can put that in and you can go and you can donate to the channel. If you want to donate directly, it helps keep the lights on here. But I do have a ton of affiliate links down below that you can just support the channel by purchasing things. Most of the major knife vendors are down there, from Blade HQ, Knife Ship Free, GP Knives, they're all down there. Jared's company over at Neve's Knives, Neve Knife Co. is down there as well. You can also support the channel by going to Coffee Brand Coffee or Tempered Trail with the links that are down there, and that saves you 10% at checkout. All you have to do is just use the links, and they're great products. You can also use coupon code crazysharp to save 10%. That's crazysharp, all one word. To save 10% at Fair & Forge Knife Works, Rosecraft Blades, KATSU Knives, Otter Arms, that's O-T-T-E-R, Arms. My buddy makes great pistol stands, and Otter EDC, O-T-T-E-R, like Sea Otter. Otter EDC, he makes haptic fidget spinners. 10% off of those there. If you want to support the channel a different way, I have a membership down below. It gets you early access to videos, exclusive content. I got stuff that I've slated for giveaways, but with my work schedule, it's kind of hard for me to film that stuff and get everything ready to go. Other than that, I have a public Discord down below. It says join the community. You can go in there. You can hit me up in the DM section if you have a question about something you saw on the channel, or if you have a knife you would like to get on the channel. So guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video.